Welcome back to my channel, guys. As you all know, my name is Mayowa, and today we are going to be making this really pretty drape skirts. So let's get right on with it, shall we? So yeah, we are going to be starting with this pattern. So you're going to get your full complete skirt pattern like this one here. So the full complete pattern, you get that. So then the next thing we are going to be doing is to draw in what will I call it, the part where we'll be cutting out, that is the cutout from the skirt. So the skirt you'll be using is your basic skirt pattern. So you determine where you want your cut to start from. So for me, I'm going to be starting the cut from somewhere around the hip, level all the way to the hem of my skirt. So I'm just going to be doing that now. But if you look at the actual picture that we are using as our inspiration for today, you will see that one side of the drape, is higher at the hip level. That is, one side here is somewhere around the hip level, and the other side here is like maybe 2 inches away from the hip level. So if you want yours like that, so you construct your drape also exactly the same way. But me, I want both of them to be on the same level around my hip side. So I'm just going to construct that and drawing that into I'll draw that into my pattern right now. So now I'm done with that. What I did was to measure in from here where I want to connect these two. So you measure in from here, and then you also measure in from here inside, then you connect from here down. So I eventually didn't start connecting from my hip, so I just went down a little bit, then from there I connected straight to this part, and then I did the same also for this part. So the next thing will be to place another piece of paper underneath this, and then you trace this out, then you also trace this out. Then once you are done tracing it out, you cut this part out, and then you cut this part out, and then you add your allowances. So I'm just going to be doing all of that now. So this completes my front pattern. Then you do exactly the same thing for the back also, but also remember to allow your zip allowance right in the middle here. So you remember to add in your zip allowance to the back of your pattern. So I'm just going to do all of that now and show you. Now these are my cutout pieces. This is my back piece. You can see this is my zip allowance side and the cut side. You see that I also closed in my dart because I don't want to sew in that onto my actual fabric. So I already closed in my dart, and this is my front piece all cut out. So now this is a side piece. The side piece will be attaching to our skirt. So let's focus on that now. So I've labeled this A and I've labeled this B. So if you look at the B part of your skirt, the actual design that we are trying to make today. So if you look at it, you would see that one side here, that is the B part here, is not entirely to the hem of your skirt. So I'm going to go up just a little bit by how much I want to cut out of this, just so that I'll have that asymmetric feeling. So this part is going to get to the hem of my skirt, but this is not going to get to the hem of my skirt. So I'm just going to chop off a bit from here. So you can chop off like 4 inches away from the hem, and then you add your allowance here. That is fold allowance for the hem. And then I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to place A on another piece of paper, and then at this side here I'm going to extend out to create like an A-line shape at this side here. Note that I already added my allowance to this one, so this is a new pattern. I extended from here to create an A-line shape, and then I joined it back to this part, and then just so that I don't have like a sharp end here, I used my French curve to even this out a bit, just to blend this pattern out a bit. So, and that is all for this. So now I'm just going to draw a slash line somewhere around here. I'll draw the slash line somewhere around here, and then I'll spread it out just to give it some more flair, just to give this some more flair. Before I do that, let me just trace all of this out. So now this is the part of my pattern that is going to be on fold. So I'll be placing this part on fold on my fabric. So this is my little slash line here. So I'm going to be slashing this open and spread it out just a bit, just to create some flair for my pattern. Now for the B part, you do the exact same thing. I'm going to place it on another piece of paper again. The only difference is that, and then I'm going to extend an A line from somewhere around here. So the only difference is that for the for this part, the A shape is going to be shorter than the one I have for the second one. So I'm going to reduce the A line I'm going to be drawing here. It's not going to be as long as the one I drew earlier. So if you look at the picture, you see that it is like that. It is asymmetric like that. This part is not equal to the second part. So I'm just going to do that now. And that's all for that. So for this, I'm not going to be slashing like I did for the other one. So we're going to be cutting this one exactly the same way. So all I have to do now is to add my allowances, and then I'll cut this out of my fabric. Now these are my cut out pieces. This is A that I slashed and spread out earlier. This is the fold part. Now I mentioned that this part is going to be on fold. So this is the fold part, and this is B. This B is not going to be slashed or spread out. So this is B cut out, and then I also mentioned that this part is going to be on fold, and this is my band for the skirts. So yeah, all I have to do now is to put all of this together. I'll first sew in my front and back pieces, and then I'll attach this. So I'm just going to go right ahead to sewing this now. So I'll first put my front and back pieces. I'll put them together. And then I'll sew the sides, and then sew the sides. Then here, once I'm done, then I'll pick up my A part, and then I'll attach my A part to my A part, and then I'll attach my B part to the B part. So I'm just going to do all of that now. And this is the end product of today's tutorial, guys. Please note that the more the lines you slash on your attached flare pattern, the more the flare is going to drape or fall. Now what else? I think that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any further questions or comments, please don't hesitate to type it right below in the comment section and I'll reply as soon as I can. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, guys. Like this video if you found it helpful. Turn on the notifications bell right beside the subscribe button and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.